Hello, hello. Welcome, billionairettes, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful souls here. My name is Vanessa Black. So happy and grateful that you are here. You are about to invest into your personal development, into your growth for the day. We are doing Read With Me sessions. If this is your first time joining in on here, and I'm currently reading Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life by Bob Proctor with all the amazing individuals that are joining in and listening into the audios as they actually read the book as well. So if you haven't gotten the book, go ahead. I definitely encourage you to order it. It's on Amazon and it's an incredible book. It's a little book, easy read, but super powerful, one that you want to continuously study and implement the different ideas that are shared, and breaking different paradigms and just developing your awareness. And so we're on chapter 8. There's 2 more chapters in this book. There's a total of 9 chapters. 1 through 7 is in the playlist here on the YouTube channel. So you can definitely continue to go back in there and listen in to those chapters. But I'm going to dive right into it. All right. So if you feel like you've gotten value from the previous chapters, go ahead and share this particular audiobook, this book, with your friends, your family, your loved ones, your audience, as I know that it can definitely make an impact in so many people's lives, if they just hear this information. Okay. If they continue to study this information, there's so many incredible perspectives, truth, laws of the universe, and the world works by law, as Bob Proctor says. So let's continue. Also, the forward in this book is by Sandy Gallagher. It's an incredible book. That's his business partner. And yeah, if you're ready to break through, let's dive right into it. Chapter 8, the benefits of changing your paradigm. And as we discussed, a paradigm is a multitude of habits. Okay. We're running on specific paradigms. The majority of people might be living on a paradigm that they did not create. Okay. A belief system that they did not create, but they heard growing up. Repetition of so many different beliefs that they didn't really choose. And so now is the time that we're aware of, oh, wow, I'm maybe living someone else's paradigm, or becoming aware that somebody else that you know is living somebody else's paradigm. Okay, and they're stuck in a paradigm. And so Bob has been sharing with you how to, become aware of a paradigm, what a paradigm is, um, what is a paradigm, becoming aware of the paradigms in your life, your beliefs in your life, and being able to change and break through your paradigms. And this is the benefits of changing your paradigm, chapter 8. All right. In this chapter, I want to look at the effects that you'll see in your life from changing your paradigm. Changing your perception. The first thing is perception. You cause your paradigm change by shifting your perception. Take the ability to earn money. Today, without any difficulty, I can earn more money in an hour than I used to earn in an entire year. I first picked up Think and Grow Rich. I had the ability to do that then. I had all the talent within, but I wasn't aware of it. My perception of life kept me stuck where I was. I thought this was normal for me. It wasn't normal at all, but I accepted it because I really didn't think I could change it. I did change my belief system, but a shift in perception precedes the change in belief. You can close your eyes and change your perception. Perception is a mental faculty that enables you to change how you see things. It enables you to become aware of the power and potential that you have, but weren't aware of. Perception is a mental tool. It is to the mind what hearing or sight is to the body. Our physical senses enable us to communicate with the material world. Our higher faculties enable us to communicate with the unseen world, with the world we have never ever seen, that we're not even aware of. Our creative faculties enable us to create the kind of world that we want. The first thing you have to do is see it in your mind. That's the first thing, okay? If you're taking notes, it's a good thing to write down. Okay, you've got to shift how you look at things. When you change your perception of yourself and what you're capable of doing, the world starts to spin totally differently for you. Mastering time. Another area of life that will change as a result of shifting your paradigm is your use of time. Everybody gets exactly the same amount of time. So it's what we do with our time that makes a difference. From the perspective of service, I accomplish more now in a day than I would have done in a year prior to studying any of this. Let's suppose a salesperson makes one extra call a day. When they're finished, they say, I'll make one more call. And they do that 5 times a week. Let's suppose that this isn't a very good salesperson who closes 1 out of 5 sale presentations. They would be making 50 sales a year that they wouldn't otherwise have made. Let's suppose they're earning $100 a sale. That's $5,000 a year extra. Earl Nightingale got more done in a short period of time than anybody I've known. I never saw the man hurry anywhere. I watched him for 5 years of working with him. He accomplished more in a short period of time than anyone else I've ever known. One day I went on a speaking engagement with Earl in downtown Chicago. I never had a chance to be with him alone, so I jumped at the chance. When we were having breakfast prior to the engagement, I asked him, Earl, how do you learn to master time management? He looked at me and said, what the hell are you talking about? I've never mastered time management. Nobody does. Time can't be managed. I merely manage activities. He pulled a card out of his pocket and said, I merely write down at night what I'm going to do the next day. The next day I wake up and I do those things. It's all decided. Once I developed a seminar called A Sense of Urgency. I see a sense of urgency in a person who's able to get a lot done in a short period of time in a calm, confident manner. If a person doesn't have a sense of urgency and they've got a lot to do, they probably cause confusion and panic with everybody they come in contact with. With a sense of urgency, you get a lot done in a short time, in a calm, confident manner. With a sense of urgency, you get a lot done in a short time, in a calm, confident manner. A lot of what we're doing, we don't have to do at all. So you can save a lot of time there. Some of the things we think have to get done will get done through neglect. They don't have to be done at all. You also have to delegate. Once my wife was overwhelmed with a ton of work on her desk, she asked, will you help me? Okay, I said, but you've got to do what I tell you. I will, she said. She had all kinds of things piled on the desk. I picked up one at a time and said, what's this? Does this have to be done? Yes, she said. Well, then, do you have to do it? I really don't. She had an assistant named Helen. In the end, my wife didn't have too much to do, although now Helen did. She asked how she's going to do that. That's Helen's problem. It's not yours, I said. If Helen can't get it all done, she'll have to hire an assistant, but she has to hire the assistant, not you. Good. If you hire the assistant will be working for you, not for Helen. My wife learned a lot that day. She became much more productive because she learned that many of the things she was doing, she didn't have to do at all. Utilize creativity. The third area of life influenced by our paradigm is creativity. I can use myself as a pretty good example. When I finished the 8th grade, my teacher asked, Bob, where are you going to go to high school? I'm going to Malvern Collegiate. Oh, Bob, don't go there. You'll never do well in business. Go to Danforth Tech and get a trade. What did I know? Question. My teacher was like God, so I went to Danforth Tech. I was only there for a month. I shoved my thumb into a brand saw and cut the end of it off. They sewed it back on. Years and years later, it still hurts when it gets cold. I'm very creative. I create all kinds of wonderful programs and I've written a few books. I am very right brain. I'm a very right brain person. Right brain people are very creative. My teacher didn't know that, neither did the people who were helping raise me. Some people seem to be more adept at creativity than others, but no one's more creative than anyone else. We were all creative. It's just that some utilize their creative abilities more. We're all truly expressions of God. Our higher faculties are the creative faculties of perception, will, reason, imagination, and memory. We've got to learn what they're for and how to utilize them. When we become very creative, then we become very creative. Okay, there's a better way to do everything, and we can find it if we're looking for it. There's a better way to do everything, and we can find it if we're looking for it. An associate of mine once said she had never met another person like me. She said, "You've reacted, you've recreated yourself more often than Madonna. I'm always recreating myself, but I see it as finding a better way to help people understand what they've got going for them. There's a clear, unadulterated power that flows to you and through us. It can be photographed leaving your body. Semyon Karelian, the Russian photographer, perfected a technique for doing that way back in 1934. When that power flows into our consciousness, it has no form. We give it form. That's where the creation starts. In truth, nothing is created or destroyed. So we're taking one form of energy and causing it to move into a different form of energy, which would have never happened if we hadn't been there and moved it. We play a very big role in life. Productivity and effectiveness. Productivity and effectiveness are the fourth major area of life that's influenced by our paradigm. Productivity and effectiveness are like a chicken and an egg. One affects the other. As we become more effective at what we do, we automatically become more productive. We can become much more productive. We've got to look for ways of doing what we're doing. We've got to look for better ways of doing what we're already doing. We've got to. To me, 1980 seems like a relatively short period of time ago. The fax was just coming into play then. Now it seems so antiquated. I can take a picture on my phone and hit send, and you've got it immediately. This is all a form of productivity, utilizing our creative faculties in a more effective manner. It's figuring out how to do what we've been doing better than we're doing it, faster, with less cost and less effort. I'm of the opinion that if you're struggling, you're doing it wrong. If you're working in harmony with the law, it's going to be a free flow. We have the mental faculties to cause these creative energies to flow into any state or any form that we want. We've got awesome powers locked up within us that we're really not familiar with. Some people are not aware of them at all. Regardless of how much you're struggling right now or how difficult things are, you can become much more effective. When you do, you're going to be rewarded for it. Logic versus illogic. The fifth area to be affected by a paradigm change is our use of logic. Logic is like precedent. It's how it's always been done. It's the limit to what we do. If somebody says that's not logical, that will probably inspire me to go do it. I'm not interested in whether something is logical or illogical. The question is, do you want it? That's the question. Do you want to do it? Do you want it to happen? Then forget logic. Just go do it. There is a story that Thomas Edison was sent home from the third grade with a note in a sealed envelope telling his mother, please do not send him back to school. He just didn't have what it took to do what they were doing. His mother put the note back in the envelope and told him that he wouldn't be going back to school because he already knew more than what they were teaching. She would start teaching him at home. We've got to realize a better way to do everything. It's powerful. We don't want to let anything slow us down. If we get a picture of it in our mind, we can do it. If you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your mind. Then you've got to massage it, work with it if you want it to run into form, and if you want it to turn into form. Just seeing it in your mind isn't good enough, although it's an indication that you can do it. Page 121, change your money paradigm. The sixth major area of life affected by a paradigm change has to do with money. Your paradigm can set boundaries around how much money you can earn, and by changing your paradigm, you can radically change those boundaries. Your paradigm isn't going to stop you from earning less, but it's going to stop you from earning more. Money is earned not by work, but by providing a service. The more creative you are, the more service you can render. I earn money 24 hours a day, even though I'm sleeping through a good part of it, and anybody can. We teach people how to do that. We teach people how to set up multiple sources of income. There's no end to what you can earn, although people think there is. One of the first things I ask a client when I start working with him is, what's the most you've ever earned in a year? I don't really care what the answer is, but it will tell me where your paradigm is set. Money is a good yardstick for paradigms because money can be measured right to the penny. Health cannot. You can go to a doctor and the doctor will say you're in perfect health. Then you could walk out and drop dead. That happened many times. In my seminars, I teach people how to earn money. A publishing company said that I was America's greatest prosperity teacher because I'm really focused on that. I focus on it because I think it has such an impact in people's lives. You can do so much good with money that you cannot do if you don't have it. Money is not going to make you a better person, but it will make you more of what you already are. If you're not a nice person, you're going to become despicable. If you are a nice person, you will become much nicer. Money's a magnifier. There's no limit to what you can earn, but to earn it, you have to provide service. That does mean you have to work, but you have to provide service. How many millions of dollars does the singer Taylor Swift earn in a year? And she doesn't really work that hard, although she probably has spells where she gives a lot of energy to her music. Every time one of her recordings is played, she earns some money. And of course, millions of people are listening to her recordings. She entertains them. She deserves to be rewarded for that, and she is. Money is a reward we receive for service rendered. As I've already emphasized, the amount of money you earn is in direct ratio to the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you. That is a law of compensation. Years ago, at a place where I worked, I went up and asked the president what I had to do to earn more money. Do you want a raise? He asked. No, I don't want a raise. I said, I just want to know what I have to do to earn more money. How much do you want to earn? I think was back in the 1970s. I said, I don't know, $100,000. You couldn't earn $100,000. Why not? I said, you couldn't. That's all there is to it. I knew that my 10 years there was shortly going to be coming to an end because somebody else was deciding how much I could earn. Never let anybody decide what you're going to earn. That's something you've got to decide. If you're letting somebody else decide and you're not happy with it, you know what you have to do. You have to get out of there and go out on your own. Entrepreneurship is incredible. I personally believe that network marketing is one of the greatest ideas that ever come down the road. I'm not in network marketing. I'm much too mature to go and work in another field. But it's a place where you automatically set up multiple sources of income. Wealthy people historically have had multiple sources of income. The ability to earn money is definitely a matter of your paradigm. If I'm working with people, that's one of the first things I can change. I'm always attempting to get our salespeople to set larger income goals, and they do. Some people in our company earn over $1 million a year. One guy might go up to around $4 million or $5 million a year. There's no limit to what we can earn, and we've got to understand that. We've got to understand the law governing the earning of money, and then we've got to get busy doing it. As I mentioned, we started a company, or rather a division of our company, MSI Connect. MSI stands for multiple sources of income. You connect with other people that are setting up multiple sources of income. Thousands of people all over the world belong to MSI Connect and are working together and helping one another. It's a great way to earn money. They can go in and sell something and somebody else can come in and buy it. We've got a big marketplace. We deal with a lot of people. Selling is the highest paid profession in the world. A commission salesperson is the highest paid person in the world. No one can earn the amount of money a salesperson can earn. Nobody can come close. It's powerful. We have to realize that everything we could ever want is already here. We've got to get in harmony with it. When we think of a good that we would like to have that we haven't got, we're not in harmony with it. The question is, how do I get in harmony with it? How do I raise my own level of conscious awareness? Study is the only way. I can't do it for you, and you can't do it for me. I couldn't do it for my children, and you can't do it for yours. You can't do it for your wife, and your wife can't do it for you. We're the only ones that can do it for ourselves. But we've got to get involved, understanding that all things are possible. That is not just some nice religious statement. That is a fact. I believe I'm an excellent example of that. If I can win, anybody can win. The odds of it happening were ridiculously remote, but it happened for a good reason. I read good books. I listened to good recordings. I was tutored by excellent people. I chose my mentors. I don't mix with anyone who isn't working on goals, who isn't going somewhere in their life. I don't want to hang around people who are complaining. I subscribe to Earl Nightingale principles. Don't talk about your health unless you're talking to a doctor. If someone starts complaining about their health to me, I tell them I'm not a doctor. It's something we can work at and we can do it. We can do it well. Get a good teacher. Good teachers are worth their weight in gold. If I'm mentoring a person, it will cost them a lot of money, but they quickly find out that I'm worth a lot of money. I teach them how to become worth a lot of money. Everyone is worth a lot. It's just that everybody doesn't believe it. When we do, everything starts changing regardless of where a person's at. No matter how much they may be struggling, they can change it. They have to sit down and write out what they want. I don't care if you believe you can do it or not. The first goal I set was to have $25,000. I never believed I could have that much, but I found out if I read it out loud, I'd start to believe it. If you read a lie out loud, you start to believe it. I hit that $25,000 so fast that it made my head spin. Anyone who wants anything they haven't got should write down what they want in the present tense. It doesn't matter if they think it's silly, they should start reading it and speaking out loud over and over and over again. Something will start to happen first in their mind and then in the outside world, inside out. Amazing, amazing, powerful chapter, wasn't it? I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. It got me even more pumped up because I remember I'm similar to that. When I heard this information, my first goal was $100,000 a year. I was working as a waitress, server, bartender in a restaurant, in a network marketing company, and for years I didn't hit it, but I was speaking it, I was believing, I was working it, I was seeing it in my mind, and eventually that was happening a month. Okay. So, well, I mean, sorry, not only was that achieved in a 12-month period of time. Okay. The first time it was like we hit $250,000 in a year, but then we started hitting it a month. So it works. Okay. Now there's a bigger goal here that's written down, 80 million. So happy and grateful now that we are earning $80 million a year. And so it's absolutely, absolutely possible. What is your goal? I would first reflect on what is the most that you've earned in a year? What's the most that you've earned in a month? That's where that current paradigm is at. And I love how it's like, it's a goal that you can measure. Okay, so we got to break that paradigm. With the new goal, set the new goal, set it, put it on an index card, put it around your apartment. In the present tense, start thinking it, envisioning it. You don't have to know how, you just have to know that it will. And as you continue to repeat it, it's going to become part of your new paradigm. And you will hit it, whatever that goal is. I love when he talks about doing things better in a more efficient way. Taking a look at what are you currently doing? You're an entrepreneur, you're a coach, you're a business owner. Whatever you're currently doing, how can that be improved in a better way? How can that be improved? Money is not earned by hard work, but by providing a service. The more creative you are, the more service you can render. So it's not just about how can you be creative, with the services that you are rendering. One of the things that we did in our business is we became more efficient after year 1 or year 2 of putting in systems and automations and things in place that allowed us to gain so much more time back and render service. Also putting SOPs in place, processes, so that when we hired somebody, they can plug into what's already worked, what's effective, and it doesn't require us. If you need that for your business, we have a 30-day free trial. You go to ivylees.com/CRM. Okay. And you could go do a 30-day free trial. We give you a Launchpad course at no cost to you, and you will have access to it where it's teaching you how to do a lot of things in how to work that system. We can even do done for you services and provide a turnkey solution for you within that system. So you can do things, okay, in a more effective way. We've got to realize a better way to do everything. How can you do things in a better way? As we become more effective at what we do, we automatically become more productive. We've got to look for better ways of doing what we're doing. This is all a form of productivity, utilizing our creative faculties in a more effective manner. It's figuring out how to do what we're doing better than we're doing it, faster with less cost and less effort. And there's a better way to do everything. And we can find it if we're looking for it. So are we looking for it? That is the question. You'll find it. But we got to start looking for it first. I also love how he mentioned like the salesperson is the highest paid profession. Okay, there's no limit, and that's what we do within our company. Everybody that comes in within our company or any of our companies, it's a base plus commission. So there is no ceiling. I hated ceilings. That's why I was a server, bartender, because it was like there was no ceiling because I can base on my performance tips. I hated to be locked down to a specific number. And so anybody that comes in, they're free to make as much as they want. They can work on weekends, they can develop, they can hire their assistants. Okay, I love how he says, let them hire their assistant if they want to get more done. They can. Super powerful. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your feedback. Go ahead and share this with somebody if you found it valuable that you want to share with. Make sure to subscribe if you want to get notified on the next chapters that are coming up, on the books that we're diving into and reading. And the next chapter is the last chapter of this particular book. So congratulations for making it here. Chapter 9, Making Your Positive Paradigm a Habit for Life. Okay? We're diving in, all right? So hope you have a beautiful rest of your day here today, and you really take some of that chapter into perspective, really reflect upon it, and ask yourself these important questions so we can begin to see things in a different perspective, okay? Appreciate you, love you. I'm super pumped up for you. I'm excited for you because you're limitless. The possibilities are endless. The question is, do you want it? Do you want it? Or what do you want? That is the only question we have to ask ourselves. What do we want? Do we really want it? And why do we want it? Do we really want it? That's what's going to drive us. All right. Hope you have an incredible rest of your day. We'll see you in the next Read With Me session and talk to you soon.